What?
Did I ever tell you that I love Musashi? Were you privy to this information?
I don't know. I feel like you mighta, but I just can't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't think you have. I don't think you've. Who is this Musashi character?
Musashi from Fate Grand Order, which we are gonna
Oh,
transition into first this week after we introduce ourselves.
that sounds like fun. What's that? But
It
first,
is,
what is this?
yeah, this is a podcast.
Ooh.
The theme varies lately, but it's
Well,
always weeb shit.
what is the intention? That's what we'll say. We'll give people the intention of the podcast. We are gonna try to cover anime and otaku related news. Unfortunately, we started in the worst literal possible time to transition into that format.
Yeah, it turns out it's a global pandemic, so all the news is that there is no news. Things are canceled and delayed.
Everything's fucked.
Everything
So,
sucks.
of course, now we decided to transition into that when there would be no new content. So let's talk about things we like instead.
Yeah, we're gonna just do that because that's all we can do.
We're pulling out all the stops.
But
So
yeah, we've made it no secret if you kept up with us before that we play Fate Grand Order,
we do.
the hottest of the hot mobile games that are not mobile games. Yeah, it's mobile game.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah, the gotcha shit. You know, spend all that money, get nothing from it.
Never
The real
forget.
gaming.
Never forget the guy who works with the Fate company. Is like a PR rep at Anime New York who was like, every gotcha is a guaranteed gotcha if you try hard enough.
Yeah, that was Albert.
Yep, that what a good slogan. Hey, just dump all of your money into us and you'll get them eventually.
Mathematically, it's true.
It is both mathematically possible and mathematically impossible at the same time.
Little fun fact: I have barely played Fate Grand Order in like the past 6 months.
I've mostly been just logging on to get my bonus, and there was a new event which has event items that I need. Well, not event items, but it has an event shop that has items that I need because I haven't played the new Singularity.
I have not. You want to know something even spicier?
Lay it on me.
I haven't even finished Salem.
I haven't either. Salem is all fucking dialogue, and
Yeah,
it's a little
it's
hard to
all
get through.
reading, and it's like I can't do it on the fly. So it's like I want to have to sit there and actually read it, but then at the same time, I I want to play something else. So it's kind of stuck in limbo.
Salem was a very bold choice to have a Singularity that has extremely little gameplay. Unfortunately, that doesn't make it fun to play.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably the least fun to play out of all of them.
It is. It's literally watching a movie. It has the
It's a
same
visual
issue.
novel with an occasional like battle here and there.
Yeah, it's a visual novel where the choices don't matter and the battles don't really matter. And the battles aren't really there in general, to be honest, anyway.
The true battle is the battle of your patience.
The true battle is the mental battle.
But yeah, there's an event now on that. We're gonna start off just talking about gotcha games because we play that. We play Arc Knights. That's doing
We'll
stuff.
we'll get to Arc Knights. That's one that we thoroughly enjoy. So I don't know how many people have watched Fate Apocrypha. You don't have to be quite honest.
You really don't.
Like it just
There's
Don't
two good
bother.
fight scenes in the entire show. I think we've made it pretty apparent before how we feel about Fate Apocrypha.
It's above Last Encore,
But
and
not by much.
that's it.
It is by far, I think, the most mediocre of all the Fate shows.
Yeah, I can thoroughly say that I did watch it, and that's it. I took in that information.
You know what's bad? When Babylonia was better, and Babylonia is just adapting a phone game, not a full series of novels.
Yeah.
Babylonia adapted a single chapter of a phone game.
Yeah. And Babylonia was pretty damn good.
It was. They did well with what they were given.
Yeah. They added a couple things where they thought it was appropriate, and I would agree with them. But the new Fate FGO event is based off of Apocrypha. I can't tell you the story because I skip it because I don't give a shit. I don't like any of these people.
Yeah, the only people I like from it are Atalante, Frankenstein, Mordred, and yeah.
Yes.
I guess
And
Chiron was okay.
Chiron's all right. Chiron's like, he's pretty bland, which is really unfortunate for the man who trained like all of the Greek heroes. Like you couldn't make that guy a little more interesting. Come on. Come on.
And Achilles feels just really basic anime dude.
Yeah, Achilles is unfortunately an archetype that they just repurposed and were like, "Ha, this is Achilles." He doesn't fuck. Eh.
I guess it could be worse. He could be like Hector, where his whole personality is just like, "Hey, I'm just old Uncle Hector. Ignore me. I'm just Oji-san over here."
Yeah. And he doesn't have any like dumb bullshit like character turns like Atalante does.
Yeah, that was the worst thing, where she's just like all of a sudden, like, I like how the game goes and tries to fix her with all of
They
her like story missions, where it's like, hey, losing my shit over Jack the Ripper being a literal ghost and trying to save a literal ghost is something that's just really stupid.
That's dumb, so I won't do that.
Yeah.
To
It's
which
like,
I chuckle.
I forget
'Cause
which one of them wrote Apocrypha, but like, don't let that one write. Just don't let them write
anything.
anything.
Yeah, get them a new job. Put them, I don't know, put them in web design. Just get them anything. Get them out of there.
Is web design like the modern equivalent of like getting like a call center job in the 50s? I feel like there's a bunch of people that are getting into web design, but I feel like that's a thing that's gonna like crash at some point soon.
I feel like it probably will, but I don't know when. 'Cause like with global pandemics going on,
That's true. More
now
people need
is
websites.
yeah, now is the best time to get into web design. But once everything kind of smooths out and returns to some state of normalcy, like that's going to get real, that's going to get hit real hard. I don't know, man. Speaking of going back to normal, there was an article that I saw that I may or may not have pulled up on my computer in the last like 10 to 15 minutes. Apparently, Japan, Janmanan,
The place that
might,
makes the stuff, right?
yeah, the place that makes all of the stuff
The
that
place
we
that
talk
the
about.
place where we get our stuff from.
The
Our
place,
source. Our
the
plug.
place that just spews stuff into
Our plug.
everyone's faces. They might not lift their state of emergency until May 6th. So that's cool. we're in for an interesting ride.
That's near ours, though. I thought ours was the 4th.
I believe I heard someone say that they were going to extend hours a couple days,
I feel
which
like they should end it on the 4th because, we got to go out for Star Wars Day.
I
May the
feel like
4th be with you.
they should extend it 1 week every time there's a protest. Because I feel like that puts out there just how petty of a person I am. If people were like, fuck you, we're not going to quarantine, my immediate reaction would be to be like, well, quarantine just got extended for 1 week, mister. Because I guess I'm just a dad at this point. I guess I just have strong dad energy.
Yeah, that does sound pretty
That's pretty high on the
dad-like.
dadly scale.
Yeah.
You just bought yourself 2 more weeks in freaking quarantine,
I
young
will
man.
turn this quarantine around.
No, that's not what we want. We want the quarantine to keep going.
I do
People
want
are.
us all to be mole people.
I want people to just like go away. Just like stop, guys, stop it. They're gonna fuck up Halloween, man. That's my favorite holiday.
I mean, I was going to say, our Halloween is usually a get-together less than 10 people anyway, so we're not breaking any rules.
That's fair enough. And I usually do a lot of stuff online with internet buddies, which is what I've been doing a lot these days.
Same here. It's all about the internet friendships.
It's all about your internet friendships. If you can turn a physical friendship into an internet friendship,
That's a
you're
friendship forever.
you're living in quarantine times. Ugh. I
But
forget what else was on our list.
we were going to mention, because we were just shooting the shit about mobile games,
Oh yeah.
Arknights, we're still playing that, and A1 Pictures just did a neat little preview thing for, I think, the next Arknights event on the Chinese server.
Yeah. It is very well produced.
Funny enough, because I think A1 Pictures is the studio that adapted Apocrypha.
Welp. I mean,
They're a hit and miss studio.
the one thing I can say about Apocrypha is that it doesn't look bad. Like it looks okay. It's just the writing is awful.
It was indeed A1 Pictures.
So you know what? I guess that tracks. The writing, whoever is writing, really needs to step up their game. But
People
if you
gave
give it
A1
to,
Pictures a lot of shit for Darling in the Franxx because they're like, oh, because they teamed up with Trigger for that, and
yeah,
everyone blamed them for the reason why it's bad. But it's like, I'm gonna
it's
be honest, it was probably Trigger because Trigger
is
has stupid ass plots.
is Trigger. Cause like Trigger is just one of those studios where everything they have
For
their
some reason, they
own.
have a big following. Yet I will put out there that I don't like most of the stuff they put out.
No, no. Everything, like, I think their art style is kind of interesting sometimes, but everything is like the same. Everything just looks the same.
Yeah, it is.
It's,
It does have a lot of overlap.
it's like,
Although you could say that
guys,
for like just the main aesthetic of like most anime shows that they look the same.
that's fair.
Theirs at least it like pops, so it's like, hey, that's them. That's their style. Kind of like how Shaft has its own weirdly
Yeah.
distinct art style.
And it's visually interesting to look at, unlike something like, what's it called? The Irregular Magic High School, where everyone is so pretty that they don't have the budget to make them actually like move and emote.
Oh shit. A1 Pictures did Shinsekai Yori, or think it's the English title of that is like From the New World.
Really?
Yep, that was a good series that most people didn't watch.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, no, not good for them. Those big idiots. I tried to get Tyler to watch it once, and he like couldn't do it. There's like one episode in it that like, I'm not gonna get into it. It's like I have to go through the whole entire plot of the show for it.
That's fair.
But it's good. I'd say watch it. It's got probably one of the best villains in the medium with Squealer.
I'm sold. With a name like Squealer.
Well, he's called Squealer because he's like a naked mole rat man.
That sounds like a villain out of one of the 1960s Marvel comics. I am Squealer.
His name is Squealer.
Nah.
Basically, he's like the equivalent of like the little little weak guy, but very smart and very he's very smart and able to sort of manipulate people.
Okay. I can get down with that. I like those villains.
Yeah, he's an all according to Keikaku kind of guy.
All according to Keikaku. Unlike these last couple of episodes of our podcast.
Yeah, nothing has been according to plan. There's actually been really no plan because it's like we're just like, hey, what do we talk about?
I was just about to say, one might say that there was no Keikaku.
We gotta fix this problem.
We'll figure it out.
We gotta cure Corona so anime news starts happening.
Let's just fund Canada. Can't be that hard, right?
Really interesting and totally unrelated to anything. I'm just looking at Twitter right now and it says, you know what's trending?
ORCS?
ORCS.
Yeah,
ORCS are trending.
I do see that. I don't know why.
I'm a little afraid to click on it because I'm like, with everything that's been going on this year, are the orcs attacking? Is that the next thing on the list? Like, that's May's problem, orcs?
That's a villain I can get behind. You can shoot an orc in the face. Let's see. What's in the orcs tab?
Yeah, let's go explore orcs. The orc episode.
Got excited when I saw orcs trending. I don't know. It's just... Oh, it's a race thing.
Oh, never mind.
Oh. Guys, what the fuck?
Can we just not... Couldn't we have just talked about orcs?
Guys... Why do people have to ruin good things by being the dumbest people in existence? Like, guys, if you want to ruin my fantasy races for me even harder than other properties have already ruined them, maybe you should be the ones injecting bleach to cure Corona.
Yeah, so you think about the start of orcs. Orcs were like, at least fantasy orcs. Tolkien, they were elves in Tolkien's universe, but like elves that got corrupted.
Corrupted by the darkness.
And then everything else, they're just kind of their own thing. And then in Warcraft, they're just basically like they have like a Native American culture. No, wait, that's like the Tauren. The Tauren have the Native American one. Orcs have like a weird, like, tribal one. Everything on the Horde's tribal, though.
Yeah. Orcs are just like baseline Horde race.
I think it's just because, like, you think of fantasy, you think of fighting a lot of orcs, and they're like, you can throw a bunch of them at you. Orcs are kind of like zombies, but big and strong. You can just throw a lot at you.
True.
Like, oh, here comes a horde of orcs.
Because you need the strong boys.
Big, strong, beefy boys.
you gotta have
With green
the
skin and fangs.
there always needs to be a big tough race. Cause like if you can't
You need
that
this is the big guy, this is the axe wielding race.
yeah. This is your token barbarian race. This is the one that plays the race that this is the race that hits things.
Yeah. This is the I am strong, so I either have a great axe, a great sword, or a warhammer. And then you gotta have your small inventor race.
I.e. the gnomes.
The
Or
gnomes,
in
the
WoW, the Gerblins.
yeah, the gerblins. Goblins are usually like the scrap kids, though.
Yeah, but you got to give them a little credit. You got to be smart to be a scrap kid.
That's true.
Because you're turning literal garbage into just gadgets.
Because if you think about it, goblins are basically MacGyvers.
Goblins are guys. If we were to make a classic action hero into a race, MacGyver would be he would be a goblin.
MacGyver the Goblin.
He would be McGoblin.
You beat me to it.
See, you led into it. I planned out this bit perfectly so I would have the exact amount of time and space to come in for that joke.
He came in for the kill.
And you know what? It was worth it. 70 years of planning. All so I could say McGerblin on my anime podcast. 60 years I've been waiting for this moment.
70 years.
I'm still looking at the ORCS thread on Twitter, and it just irritates the shit out of me.
Yeah, and it's like everyone just arguing about it, and you know what? It don't matter, guys. It don't matter. It's a fantasy thing.
Most orcs have been indoctrinated into a life of destruction and slaughter. But unlike creatures who, by their very nature, are evil, such as gnolls, it's possible that an orc, if raised outside its culture, could develop a limited capacity for empathy, love, and compassion. No matter how domesticated an orc might seem, its bloodlust flows just beneath the surface. With its instinctive love of battle and its desire to prove its strength, an orc trying to live within the confines of civilization is faced with a difficult task. People read that and are like, guys, this is fucking blatant racism.
We're getting more political than I had intended.
All because orcs was trending on Twitter.
All because...
I literally do not see any racism in that. Because that's just... I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
You know what orcs are? The Hulk.
Yeah, they're big and green and angry.
Yeah, like the Hulk.
I also find it interesting.
Actually, you know what does orcs really well? Warcraft orcs.
Yeah. Warcraft
like, there's
orcs.
A lot of... Because, like, in most other settings, they're all bad guys, but orcs in Warcraft are pretty much good guys, save for, like, bad few that ruin everything for the rest of them.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gul'dan.
Yeah. Whatever. You know, every once in a while you get a Gul'dan.
For every thrall, there's a Gul'dan. And then a Garrosh.
Garrosh Hellscream.
Who is just a genocidal maniac.
With a name like Garrosh Hellscream, how could you not be?
But his dad was cool.
Yeah, his dad, Stanley.
Stanley.
Cool Stanley.
Not to be confused with Lame Stanley.
Man, fuck Lame Stanley. He's almost as bad as. I almost made the South Park joke, Craig. That guy's a dick. But then I was like, you know what? No one's going to remember that fucking old joke from South Park from like 4 years ago. Probably even more.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember it.
I don't know why that one stands out in my head so often either. There's just like it's one of the South Park bits that I can genuinely just laugh at all the time.
Yeah, I don't even remember that one.
Literally, it's just a running gag that everyone in Canada except no, it's not
Oh,
Craig,
now I
it's
remember that
Scott.
one. Yes,
It's
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah, that guy's a
Everyone
dick.
is nice except Scott. That guy's a dick.
Oh no, it's Scott the dick.
And he's just a guy who's an asshole.
He's just a dick.
What are we gonna move? What's next? What's next on our? We've gone off on a just random tangent of orcs, and then an old
Actually,
South Park
I
joke.
want to go back to orcs. I noticed in a lot of like fantasy series, like fantasy anime, people eat orcs,
Yeah,
and that seems weird because they're humanoid.
yeah, that's very true.
I feel like that would be akin to like us eating like gorillas.
I
Something
think
about
that's
it feels
a
wrong.
I think that's a pretty bold yet true statement.
Because it's like, hey, you're eating basically a humanoid, someone that like has thumbs and walks on 2 feet.
You're
Even though gorillas
eating
kind of walk on their knuckles, but still.
you're eating another just pretty sentient human being.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
It's
like
they're just
the
green.
they ate orcs. I remember in Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in My Next Life,
Yeah.
and in the Alchemist Who Survived light novel. Because I remember reading that, I'm like, they're eating orcs too. Why is everyone eating orcs?
Oh yeah.
Eat like an orc cutlet or something in that.
That's right. I
I'm like,
remember
that's
that.
fucking wrong. That's nasty. Eat a hippogriff or something.
What do you think hippogriff tastes like?
It looks like primarily horse. So I'm
And
imagining that.
that's a good segue into my next question. What does horse taste like? I'd imagine it's wicked gamey because they're like all
Well,
muscle.
that's a thing that people do eat, and so you can
Yeah.
probably find that information out.
I don't I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm good on gamey stuff.
You eating a lot of gamey stuff lately? You
I have
going out
not, but
bow
like,
hunting game in this
I,
quarantine?
I do want to try alligator at some point. And here's the thing: there's a ton of alligators, so like I'd be doing people a favor.
There are people that just go out and hunt alligator to cut down those numbers.
What if we go and we just take some swords, go out into like the Everglades and fight alligators? Like we're leveling, like
Go out with a freaking broadsword
it's like,
and
hey, it's an
just
alligator. Huh, huh, ah,
bam,
huh.
bam, 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 bam,
And we only can attack on our turns, so we have to give the alligator a turn because we're doing turn-based combat.
Oh no, the alligator's grappling him.
Oh, the alligator's got a crit.
The alligator used death roll.
Yep, that's a vein.
That's what they call the thing that alligators do when they hunt. They actually call it a death roll.
Yeah, because they just roll around until you're dead.
It's just a something that's all muscle rolling you around underwater until you either drown or just die.
I remember seeing this like video where this dude's like, it's like a video of a zoo where out the alligators are being fed, or I think they're crocodiles, and they all walk over to it, and one alligator just walks by another one, and he gets his arm bitten off by the other one because he just grabs it and does the roll. But there was
Oh,
like this guy's voiceover. He's like, "All right, guys, it's feeding time. Everybody, come on!" And then after he does it and bites it, he's like, "You motherfucker! You bit your brother's arm off!
shit.
God damn it!"
Gators are scary, man. That's some high level leveling shit. I need to level off of
Can't
like
lizards like grow back, like reptiles grow back limbs?
some can. Like I'm pretty sure it's just tails because some smaller reptiles can just pop their tails off and then they'll regrow.
Yeah, like lizard in Africa Salaryman.
Yeah, that recurring bit. That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
Salaryman.
Salary man.
Yeah,
Let's transition into our next topic. What was it?
there wasn't one.
Cool, we did
We
it.
are running off of bait. We're running on fumes.
Oh, I remember. Uh, Iruma-kun,
All
Kalego,
right, yeah.
Kalego Sensei is getting a he's getting a spin-off manga. It's
Which
gonna
is
be him.
awesome
It's gonna be him as a student.
because you know what? He was one of the more interesting characters in that.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about it. Cause like I
Maybe
think
he'll be
that
less of a hard ass or something in it.
I don't know.
We'll see
Cause
like
I'm
how he became a hard ass.
I'm kind of hoping he was always just like real grim. I'm
Just
kind
a
of hope.
grumpy motherfucker.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to see his character develop into that kind of character. But there's always going to be that one little part of me that's like, I kind of want him to just be grumpy as fuck. But I don't know.
I came around to him when he I mean I liked him since the beginning, but I really liked when he took control of the whole school
Yeah.
festival arc where he's like, all right, I got to start organizing the teachers, and he basically was like, oh man, there's barriers everywhere. Let me just destroy them and just walk through.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Uh,
just march on through.
I would say that the whole 24 arc really kind of,
The 24 arc.
that's what I will always remember it as. I think that's really his shining point because it shows that he actually like is left in charge for a reason.
And he takes the Robin Hood guy with him.
Yeah. Robin, the teacher Robin, whose power is to fire a bow real good and who wears green and is merry.
Maybe it's like
Subtle.
maybe it's more subtle to the Japanese audience.
That's true. Because they probably didn't grow up with stories of English Robin Hood.
Yeah. Like how if we tried to do like Goemon or something over here, when it would probably be more subtle.
Yeah, actually, I bet a lot more people got the Goemon reference than got the Robin Hood reference.
Well, I
I
think
don't know
Robin
though.
Hood's probably more popular than Goemon.
Probably. I'm talking Japanese audiences.
Yeah. Oh, Japanese. Yeah. I thought you meant like just overall.
No. I mean, it's cheating because, like, if you look at it, think of the incredible cultural like expanse of England, because that's like everybody
Yeah, they took
in
over the
just
whole
Europe.
world at one point.
The sun. There are people in India who probably know fucking Robin Hood real well.
Probably.
Not so much for Japan and their little isolated island.
Yeah, that Tokugawa era isolationism
Yeah,
kind of
it
kept
didn't
everything inside.
did not help, one might say. Not good for the expansion of culture.
Mm.
I can tell you, Japan ain't winning a culture victory anytime soon.
I don't know. I feel like they
Except for
came
the
back in
fact
like
that
the. I feel like
that
they
they
came
are.
back in the last act.
I feel like Japan is beating America at this point in the culture victory race.
Well, what is American culture anymore?
Shooting guns, drinking bleach, and hating Mexicans,
Unfortunately,
all in a Walmart.
all in a Walmart, and
Walmart's,
specifically the like the scooters, even though you don't
yeah,
need them.
for foreign audiences, to put this in perspective, Walmart is where Americans go to sort of get all of that hateful energy out. Unfortunately, that's also where we vote. We vote in Walmarts. We really, the American life just kind of congregates around the Walmart or
Walmarts are
Wally
kind of
World.
like the mecca of every single American town.
Yes.
Like they're our cultural hub. We're always facing Walmart.
In England, they have the pub, the public house. In America, we have the Walmart. Our founding fathers actually wrote the Declaration of Independence in a Walmart.
Yeah,
They
one of the
were,
very early ones.
yes, they were in between the firearms aisle and automotive services.
They should have spent a little more time in automotive services. We could have had better roads up here.
Yeah, well, they were too busy developing the Humvee. Unfortunately, they finished those designs right after we won the Revolutionary War, so we wouldn't get to bring those out. That's
Hmm.
actually how we won the Battle of San Juan Hill. Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders got in their Humvees, and because of the superior traction control, were actually able to take the hill.
Honestly, what couldn't Teddy do?
Nothing.
Oh, last thing I wanted to transition to before we wrap up for the day, science fiction. There are not enough stories of someone being isekai'd into a science fiction world. It's
That's
always
true.
fantasy.
What do we got? Hit us with at least one or two. What examples you got of
There's
some
like
science
one
ones?
I know about, like just one where it's like this guy wakes up and he's in another world and he's like the commander of the best like starship or something, or the pilot of the best starfighter. There's one that I know of. That one. That's like the only one I can think of. And I'm like, we need more of that. We need more of space. I feel like space is like an interest has just died out. It's like before space was really popular, like a couple decades ago, because everyone was like looking towards the sky, being like, hey, we can go someplace up there one day. And then as like just everything got shittier, everyone's content with just dying on the planet.
Orcs are fuck. Space is cool, and I want to see more space stuff. I may or may not still be looking at the thread. I'm gonna close this tab out because it is mind flooding me.
Orcs in space.
Space Orcs, Warcraft,
Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Yeah, that's the
Sorry,
one with the orcs in space. Don't
I get
don't
them
mix up your wars.
confused. I get them confused
Oh,
because the
Warhammer's the
titles
one with the British.
they're they're very similar
Oh,
names.
they're all Cockney in the Warhammer universe.
War Warhammer orcs are weird because they actually like their technology works because they think that it works. Like I remember actually watching a video on it, and they are so psychically powerful that they can actually make spaceships by just putting metal plates together and slamming them with a wrench because they themselves honestly believe that that's how it works. So,
Imagine if
like,
that was a thing.
imagine if because you believed that your car went faster because it had flames on it, that it actually did go faster. That's how orcs work in Warhammer. And I think that's a really cool and unique concept.
Warhammer has a lot of cool lore to it. It's just like there's a lot of stuff to get into with that.
Yeah, there was a period where I was getting into Warhammer lore because I like lore. I think lore is interesting.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy a project. It's just like I'm working on other projects, so it's like I don't have time to do the homework for this franchise yet.
And there is a lot. Like I remember one channel I can't remember what the name of it is now, but the dude had like 3 videos on the Emperor of Man and they were all an hour and a half each. And it
No,
was
yeah,
all just straight lore.
no, it's an old franchise too, so there's a fuck ton of lore.
Yeah.
There's also 2 Warhammers. There's Warhammer 40K, which is the space one, and then Warhammer,
And
where
then
it's the
just
fantasy one.
Warhammer. Oh. But yeah, we do need more space isekai.
Yeah, we
We
need
need
more
more
just space
space.
anime in general. Like ones that aren't mecha either, because I feel like it always has to be mecha if it's in space. Where it's like,
That's true.
don't get me wrong, mecha's fine, but I like starships and like fighters and all stuff like that.
I like fleet battles. Fleet battles are cool as shit.
Because the only one I can really think of off the top of my head that's done that recently is the Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah. That's the only one I can think of too.
Yeah, and that's technically a remake of an older show.
Yeah. I've heard it's good though. I've actually meant to watch it, but I
Yeah,
got a lot of things I'm doing.
again, it's picking up a new project. You got other projects you're working on.
Yeah, exactly. Can't just like don't want to drop all those projects just to pick up a new one, just to drop that one.
Exactly.
That's no bueno,
But we
dude.
need
No
more
bueno.
space. We need to like get people wanting to go to space again. Let's stop like getting depressed and wanting to die on this rock. Let's die on a different rock.
Yeah, let's be like the pilgrims and bring highly lethal contagions to other planets.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, space is cool. Next time you're worried about quarantine,
Yeah, Elon's gonna get us to Mars.
here's the question though. Elon only, let's say, well, I'm putting forth a hypothetical. Elon has time to finish one scientific project. He either gets us to Mars or he finishes Catgirls. What do you pick? What do you direct Elon to finish?
Looks like I'm dying on this rock.
That would be my answer too. Because I'll die happy.
Mm.
It's like getting DLC for an old game. It's revitalized.
Dude, Earth got 10 times better ever since they added the cat girls.
Earth had that really shitty patch around 2020 that no one liked, but since they've patched in Catgirls, it's pretty lit.
Dude, the 2021 patch revamped the entire game.
You got the Catgirls update. They added race changing.
Uh,
I'm waiting for it. One of these days they're gonna be like, yeah, you can just like make yourself a fucking furries. You
imagine
can
if we
just
put
make yourself that now.
imagine if we put people in charge of like the world government and stuff, but they treated the world like they were running an MMO. Like, man, what update will make the people happy?
I
We
would
gotta put this
want
in for the players.
the Bofuri devs. I forget what that MMO was called.
I think it was
For
New World Online.
Yeah, I would want the New World Online devs. Like fuck Blizzard.
No, because
Give
then they would
us,
just be like, "Hey, here's a really overpowered thing that only one of you can get."
yeah, and that's, well, a couple
Yeah,
people can get
exactly,
some busted stuff.
but
There
not
are
that
people,
busted.
there are people with tech
Yeah, but not people with kaiju.
or mechs. Although,
She's
although,
not in a mech. She's in a gear.
uh, 6 in 1. I will say we don't know, just because no one's done it yet, we don't know if no one else can do it. That's what I'll say. We don't know if that quest respawns for other people.
That's true. There's got to be like a wiki or something.
Because this is also the MMO world where no one else had the idea to just dump everything into one stat.
That is true.
So it could be
No,
possible.
other people did. Remember their guild members? The two like girls dumped everything into strength.
Yeah, but that was it.
And then Sally kind of dumped dexterity.
She was more balanced, but
But
it
she
was
did put vast majority into dexterity because she was like, I'm just
because
gonna
that was
skip
her
vitality
class.
since, you can't don't need to heal if you don't get hit.
But I will say that was her class. That's what it was geared towards. She was basically the swashbuckler.
Yeah, swashbuckler. Listen, there's a swashbuckler there. I don't know why most places call it, or most things call it swashbuckler and not duelist, when I think duelist is just a better catch-all term for it.
Duelist fits better, but and
Swashbuckler is essentially pirate.
hear me out on this one though. Swashbuckler is a funner word.
It
It is
is.
much
It
more fun to
is.
say swashbuckler.
But what if? But you get the idea of a pirate, not like. And most of the time when people play swashbuckler, they're all like a fancy pants nobleman that's like, I was trained in the art of fencing.
That's true.
That person has never swashed a buckle.
I don't even know if that person has buckles to swash. Maybe they have Velcro.
No, they're aristocrats. They're probably wearing so many buckles that you couldn't even believe it.
That's true. There are too many buckles to swash.
It's
They
like,
don't have
could you
time for all
swash
that.
all of these buckles?
They hire someone to swash their buckles.
They're like a JRPG protagonist with the amount of belts. Belts everywhere, belts.
That's what I should do. I
I know
should just buy a fuck ton of belts.
there was like a meme going on with like the Tales of franchise, where every protagonist for a while was getting more and more belts than the last.
That's pretty
It
good.
was like it was becoming like a belt count of just like how many belts everyone was going to have on them.
I can get down with that.
It was like, holy shit, there are some people with a lot of belts.
You know what I got to do the next time I go out to venture out into the plague lands? I just got to get as many belts as I can and just dress like a fucking video game character because I still have my gas mask. I can put my gas mask on, get my leather jacket, throw on as many belts as I can fit on my body. And there you go. Life is a video game now.
Life is a video game, or more so, life is a podcast.
But unfortunately, all podcasts must come to an end, much like this one.
Not permanently, just like this week's episode.
Yeah, we've gone probably far too long.
It is longer than the last couple of weeks, meaning actually this was the week we had nothing to talk about too, but somehow we did this. We stretched it out to like almost an hour.
Because that's what we excel at, is just rambling on about random bullshit for extended periods of time.
Mm.
Guys, don't forget, this is an anime podcast, but let's talk about all of the just different tangents. We've had Orcs twice, Orcs Part 1, and then Orcs Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. We've had a little bit of news and details right at the beginning. We
Some
front
gotcha
load.
stuff, but you know what? Mostly orc stuff. This is the orc episode.
This is the orc episode. I can heartily say that this episode has far more orcs than it does anything else.
Far
And
more orcs than it really should.
Guys, this has been your orc podcast, the Protagonist Orc.
If you want to hear more about orcs, subscribe to our OrcTube page.
YouTube or orctube.com/ the Protagonist seat. We're working on rebranding that.
Yeah, it's stuck as the Protagonist seat, but we're also on Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist seat, but it will be changed to orc soon, don't worry.
We are working on the changes in the works to get that to the orc seat.
And we are on every single other platform, or almost all of them. Google Play, Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, and
wherever you want your orc casts, we got you.
Yeah. So
if
we will see
you
next
enjoy
time.
One important thing for everyone. If you do enjoy, let us know. Reach out to us on our platforms of your choice, because we're everywhere. So you can reach out to us wherever you want. Give us ratings, subscribes on various platforms. You can subscribe to a podcast on iTunes Music.
And tell your fellow your fellow orc clan.
Yeah,
let them know about us.
Share it with your orc clan that we are an orc forward podcast.
We are orc friendly.
We are orc friendly. Share that with your war chief, your blood brothers. And that's all I got on that.
Loktar Ogar.
Loktar Ogar, brothers. We hope to see you next week.
See ya.
Goodbye.